Hello. I am Alicia Richard, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And this is the ultimate place where we talk about locks, life, and the Lord. So in today's video, I will be talking all about the truth about being a Sisterlock trainee. And yes, I do have my notes here. So if you see me looking down, that only means that I am trying to stay on track when it comes to doing my videos. Also, you notice that my son is here, my boss, my other boss, and he is making sure that mommy stays on track. And of course, mama has goals. So, I mean, he's in his playpen. I'll show you in his playpen once I finish with this video. But I believe he's probably just gonna be right here in this section. So if you see a little head, then that's my 1-year-old son. All right, so I want to talk about the truth about being a Sisterlock trainee. All right, so here are some of the things about being a Sisterlock trainee. You choose how much money you are going to make, right? So that includes like your retightenings and, you know, how many clients that you have. So with me, I went to the Sisterlock trainee class. So here is behind the scenes of me literally doing my Sisterlocks course. Here is behind the scenes. I got some sunflower seeds, an energy drink, and I also have some grapes. So what I decided to do was I went to Walmart and I got a binder because everything is like separated in sections, and I wanted to make sure that I like had all of the information for when I go in person. So this is literally behind the scenes of me doing my Sisterlock course, and here's my little binder. Ta-da! That's ever since 2021. And since I went to that class, I intentionally kept my clientele low because I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I work full time and all of that. So really when I became a Sisterlock trainee, I really did it out of just curiosity, not because I wanted to like blow up or get my own shop or anything, right? So what I want you to do when you are setting your prices and everything when it comes to being a Sisterlock trainee is that you control how much money you are going to make. So rather you want to charge $600, $700 for a lock installation, or $1,500, or even $2,000 or $3,000, that price is totally up to you. So be mindful about your expenses and about how much money you want to actually make from this side hustle. So keep all of those things in mind when you are deciding if you actually want to do Sisterlocks. Again, you control your money. If you want to do 2 clients, 3 clients, 4 clients, 5 clients, however many clients you want to do, that is totally under your control. That brings me to my next point, being that, say for instance, if you do decide that you want to do Sisterlocks, you can tell people no. Because a lot of times, you know, like when you are doing like a regular job or whatever, you may not have the willpower or the, you know, guts to really tell people no, I don't want to do that, right? So when it comes to controlling how much money you make, that's under your control. You control your clientele, and if you decide, hey, you know, you are overbooked or something, you can always say no, I'm not able to take on any clients right now, I apologize. And you are under that. You can control that. Nobody else determines that, right? So the next thing is, that brings me to this. You are scheduling your own clients. I really do like that about being a Sisterlock trainee, because you are able to schedule your own clients. For me, I work traditionally like basically until 5, right? Or I get home or settled in, right? So when you're working your 9 to 5 job, you may do the Sisterlocks from like 6 to 9, or you may even decide to do it on the weekends on Saturdays and Sundays. So with my schedule, I choose to do hair on the weekends, and I even choose which weekend I want to work. You decide what days you want to work. You decide what your schedule is, how many hours that you want to work. All of that is in your control. So when you do become a trainee, even if you say, hey, you know, I only want to get 3 clients or 5 clients, whatever that that is under your control. And also you control the times that people come. Now you do have to work with your clients. You know, when you are scheduling your clients, you say, hey, can you come this time? You know, can we agree on the evenings or in the mornings? All of that is in your control. So this is a side tip. When you are doing your marketing, when you are advertising your lock business, make sure that you actually target the people that you would like to work with. So if you do not want to do locks on children, do not let children be in your advertising. If you want to only work with, say, women who are 60 and up, because 9 times out of 10, they're probably about to retire or are already retired, their schedule is a little more flexible. So consider all of those things when you are choosing your ideal client and who you want to work with when it comes to doing your sister locks, right? So if your schedule is a little more restricted, then you may want to target the 9 to 5 person that works a traditional 9 to 5, because when they're off and you're off, your schedules align. So just continue to think about who are the type of people that you want to work with and what does their schedule look like and how flexible their schedule is, because your schedule reflects their schedule and their schedule reflects your schedule, especially when it comes to booking your clients on a consistent basis. Standing on your feet and being in one place for long periods of time takes a toll on your body. So I would say, even as a trainee and even with me having the clients that I do have, when I do an installation or when I have to do more than 3 or 4 clients or whatever within a day, it takes a toll on your body. And even if I'm doing it just for 3 hours or 5 hours, because I'm not used to those time frames, being on my feet in one spot. Does that make sense? So I would say that when you are doing your installations or reties or what have you, make sure that you are actually doing them where you have on the, okay. Come on. Okay. Make sure that you are doing your retightenings and installations in a place where you're standing on your feet. If you're standing on your feet, make sure you have comfortable shoes that actually support you. Also, make sure that you have on support socks as well. And what I normally do is I normally wear leisure clothing or workout clothing is what I normally do when I am doing my reties, like maybe a gym shirt or some leggings or something like that, or even something loose sometimes. But you really want to make sure that you have on comfortable clothing, that even your hair is comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you are comfortable so that you could provide that good service for your clients. Also, your posture matters when you are doing hair. So when you are doing your retightenings, you can't be hunched over, right? You got to make sure that your back is arched. Sometimes if I'm doing an installation or something, I may even have on a waist trainer, not because, I do need to train my waist, right? But I also have some sort of support, because you do want to make sure that your posture is right. If not, then you are going to have a lot of pain on your body. A girl got to do what a girl has to do. All right. So the next thing I would say is that making sure that you keep up with your twos, all of that, right? So the truth about being a trainee is that you really want to make sure, because the two is so small. So make sure that you have your tools in a bag, that you are always protecting your tools, because especially with me having a baby and so many different people in my house, I make sure that I can identify where my tools and all of my hair stuff is at, right? So even if, you may want to shampoo somebody's hair. I don't know. Everybody's different. But make sure that you know where your tools are, that they are in a secure spot at all times, because the last thing you want to do is lose your tool. No, I don't want it. I not right now. Not right now. right. The next thing, and this is very important, it probably should have been like number 1 or number 2. Know the certifications and the requirements in your state, right? So even they even tell us this in the Sisterlock Trainee class, that you need to know whether you need like a braider's license or what have you. But when you go on the Sisterlocks, when you go through them, I don't remember getting like a formal certificate or whatever. However, your name will be on the website as a trainee, or as a I forgot what the other part is called, right? So like as a certified Sisterlock consultant, right? So making sure that you actually know what the requirements are in your state. Me personally, I am working on my braider's license. When my loctician told me where to go, I believe that they changed things. So I'm not actually like, I don't do locks as a way of like my main source of income. Like I just do it just to do it. So I have intentionally kept my clientele small. However, if you want to go in a shop without your cosmetology license, then you may need a braider's license, or you may be able to work under another cosmetologist certification. So just make sure you do your research either way. If I were to get more clients, then that's when I would begin to take those additional steps just for those certification purposes, right? So I would say go along with what's in your state and know what those certifications are. So because because your name is on the Sisterlocks website does not mean that you are automatically going to get business, right? Okay, hold on. Here, wanna play with that? All right. Okay, so because your name is on the Sisterlocks website does not mean that you are automatically going to generate business. So make sure that you have a way where you are advertising yourself. If I were to do it, I would say to go on like Facebook first, because 9 times out of 10, that's where your friends, that's where your family members are just hanging out, maybe some of your coworkers. Well, I was so excited that when I finished like doing my certification for Sisterlocks as a trainee, I did some advertisement and people were already like, oh my gosh, how much do you charge? So when you do finish the class, make sure you do a post and let people know, hey, I am so glad that I am certified in my area where I'm a trainee, and just let people know what you are doing. Then that way you can begin to advertise. So don't rely 100% on the website. Your best advertisement is going to be your first client, second client, third client. The best advertisement is making sure that okay, hold on. The best advertisement is making sure that when people walk out of your chair, that they are able to go and just show off their hair, right? You want people to be like, oh my gosh, who is the person who done your hair? So you really want to make sure that you are doing it accordingly. So that brings me to this part. When you are doing your Sisterlocks as well, I will also encourage you to network with the people that were in your class, because you may need them. Like, I know that you all, like everybody has like a different level of education, but I would encourage you to like talk to the people in your class, maybe get some of the numbers of the people in your class, and then that way y'all can network. If you need something, if you have any questions, either the people in your class or even like a local loctician, if you have built a good rapport with them, then that is something that you can keep in mind when it's time for you to do locks, ask questions or something, because you will need just a little guidance on the journey. Now, when it comes to the other thing, there's 2 more things that I want to say. One thing is on my notes, the other one is not. All right, so make sure that you have like a comfortable chair, right? So making sure that you have a comfortable chair for your clients to actually sit in when they come. I bought mine off of Amazon, and it's a really good chair. Like, it goes up and down. It is a little heavy though to carry sometimes, because I take it from my garage into my home, because I do Sisterlocks out of my home. because I only have minimal clients, and that's intentionally. So I would say that make sure that your clients have like a place where they could sit, like a good comfortable chair where they can sit, and also a chair that is comfortable where, you know, you're not hunched over. So a chair that can adjust, right, going up and down. All right, my last part that I do want to talk about, and this is one of the most important things for you all to note when you are on your journey, is you have to be patient. Like your first installation, second installation, third installation, like it's gonna take time. So the more you begin to do sister locks, the more familiar you'll be with like just moving your hands, the partings, getting it right. Because my sister hair, although her hair is really nice, that was my first person whose hair I actually done, right? So I know that it's not perfect. So what I would say, that's where it comes to making sure that you get guidance, right? Guidance from somebody that has been doing it for an extended amount of time. So make sure that you get that guidance, because you do grow. Like that's with everything. That's like everything that you do. When you first started off on your job, you wasn't the top performer, you know what I'm saying? But you had to learn, you had to experience things, you had to make mistakes. So that's the same thing with hair. That's the same thing with being a hairstylist. Even some of the most professional hairstylists makes mistakes. So one of the things that you do have to remember on your journey is to have patience. You are not going to be perfect, and you are not going to get everything all the way right. So what I would say is like get the mannequins and practice on the mannequins. Practice the part and practice, you know, like getting your hands like in the groove of actually doing the reties, or making sure that you practice with your hands and like going like, you know, like with the sister lock rotation. Then that way that'll help you to not make as many mistakes on a person. Like do it on a mannequin, right? So I would encourage you to just do those things, because those are some of the truth about being a trainee. And because I've done hair, but I'm not a licensed cosmetologist. Like I'm going to get my master's degree in social work. This is not my field. However, I do hair, right? Because I have a high interest in hair. So just make sure that you keep all of those things in mind when it comes to, you know, like doing sister locks. This is another thing with your child. If you have a child, it's hard. It's hard having children and doing hair, because it's not like you could leave the person and be like, all right, I need a 15-20 minute break, let me come back and take care of my child. That's not the case. So sometimes it is hard for me having a toddler if nobody else is here to help me. So I always schedule my appointments around the time that I have help. I really do. I schedule it every time around the time that I have help, because he is like a Velcro baby. He is the boss, and kids need attention. So if you have younger children, it may be good for you to, okay, I'm almost done. If you have younger children, it may be good for you not, well, I can't say that, but use your support systems and do what's best for you, right? So that brings me to the end of my video. I hope that you all have enjoyed my video, and I am going to tend to my 1-year-old child. And thank you so much. If you know of anybody that could benefit from this video, make sure that you share it and let them know about the channel. So thank you again, and I'll talk to you the next time. Miles, say bye-bye. Bye. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Oh, you want to say something? Say hello. Hello. Okay.